So when you're young, people are going to want to take advantage of you. People want art, and they're going to want it for free, or they're going to want other stuff from you, and it can be really hard to navigate, especially when you're young and when you're starting out in art. I've almost walked into some really bad situations because I was desperate for work. So I'm going to talk to you about times when people have tried to take advantage of me and how I dealt with it. I don't like to spread negativity, but I feel like these are good, these are things I need to talk about because I'm sure other people are in similar situations and need help getting out of them. So here I go. When I was between school and work, so I was like 18 or 19, I used to go to the library to work on my comics. It was great because it was like a free, quiet space I could go and focus on my work. So one day when I'm at the library, this guy approaches me and he says he works for a design company. And he's like approaching textbook publishers for work. And he saw my art and liked it, so he wanted to invite me to be part of his company. So I was super excited. It was like my first art job, dropped into my lap. It was doing illustration. I was super excited. There was 2 guys there, but I helped them put together a pitch package for the publishers they were approaching. They paid me for it. It was great. And then they wanted to hire me. So they said they'd gotten an office space. They were going to hire artists from all over the city. They were going to approach artists internationally so that these textbooks would have a ton of different illustration styles. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And they told me they were going to pay me $20 an hour to do my work, which is amazing because that's way more than minimum wage where I am. I was super excited. I was thrilled. But then right before they actually hired me, things started looking kind of sketchy. So they made this big deal where they told me oh, we're going to be paying, because we're reaching out to international artists, we're going to be paying you all different things. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Why do you need to tell me this? Because it felt kind of like they were justifying things before they told me anything. Anyway, so when they did finally break down how they were going to pay me for this illustration work, I was mortified. So they said they were going to pay me as a freelancer, so they weren't going to hire me on for a full-time contract, but they were expecting me to come to their office and work full-time in the office, which sounded really sketchy because it's very different working as a freelancer than working in-house. There's different requirements for how I'm treated as a worker that way. And it turns out that they weren't paying me a $20 hourly wage. They were planning to pay me $1 per sketch or per art piece that I did. So they were expecting me, they were like, oh, it'll be easy. You can do 20 sketches in an hour. I was like, listen, I'm fast at sketching, but I'm not doing that. Because if I don't get 20 sketches done in that hour, I'm not getting $20 an hour. So all these alarm bells were going off in my head and it sounded horrible. But I felt really stuck because I was like, I want lots of work. I want an art job. I don't want to go back to searching for crappy waitress jobs. So they said they'd call me in the next day to sign contracts and then get started on the project. They said they had some other people coming in to do graphic design. Anyway, so that night I talked to Bones. He talked me out of it. He was like, you'll find something better. Let's just keep working on our comics. And I was like, you're right. So I called and I declined their offer. And I'm really glad I did not take that job. It sounded terrible. That isn't to say that I think they meant well. They seemed really passionate about the work they were doing. They had a great eye for design and illustration. I learned a lot when I was helping them with their pitch. But as a new artist who was very naive, I didn't know what I was doing, it was not a good deal for me. I would not have been able to negotiate that contract to give me a good outcome and a livable wage. I would have overworked myself. It did not sound like a secure job, and I'm really glad I turned it down. It kind of felt when I was talking to them like I was a hand, not an employee of their company. It just didn't feel good. But I was super close to taking it because I was desperate for work. So if you're ever in that situation where it sounds too good to be true, don't do it. Take some time away and think about it. A better opportunity will come your way. So now that I have an actual job, in art, working as a designer, I feel a lot better where I am now. And a big part of getting there was just waiting for the right opportunity to come. So I started at my current job as an unpaid intern. I really trusted the people I work for now. I knew people in the company, Bones' brother worked there, and I met a lot of people who worked there through him. And they were really great at the time because I was working another job part-time, like at a cafe, and they let me work around that schedule. You know, they were fine if I couldn't come in for a day because I had to work a double shift or something. They were super awesome, and they were willing to take me on and let me learn on the job. Because I didn't have much graphic design experience. It was a much more secure feeling going into that job, and it's continued to feel that way. They've been amazing. They've been super professional. Like, the opportunity felt right. You'll know it in your gut, I think, when you're going into a good job. Whereas those other situations, I went into them feeling uneasy. Like, I thought, this is weird, I don't like this, but I still kept going with them, even though I should have ended it way sooner. So yeah, my best advice is just hold out for the good job. It'll be worth your time and your energy. In the meantime, just work on your own projects. You know, work the crappy side job if you have to, like, you know, some small freelance work, or, you know, working in retail. It'll pan out eventually. If you just keep making your comics, working on your art, working on your portfolio, you'll find a really great job that works for you if you just hold out for it. So I hope you enjoyed my warning. And I hope they help encourage you, because it really sucks when you're in that tight spot, money-wise, or you're just tired of, like, working crappy jobs that drain your soul. I totally get that. But don't hurt yourself to get a job that you're not even gonna like in the end. Well, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to request a video topic, please leave a question or a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!